This is an instructional video on the jig Cork Hill for the practice tenor, for the bagpipes. The way we have this set up here is I have broken up the portions of the tune with triplets and then the next note after the triplet, which is the first or the second beat of the bar. So this is a 6/8 time, it's a jig. We have 3/8 notes. These all equal the first beat that we tap with our foot because it's 1, 2, 1, 2. And then this E here with the G grace note is the second beat. And so the way that would be played is, so what I just did there was I played the G, D, E triplet on low A, and I had a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a breath, if you will, a little bit of space. And then I went up to the E with the G grace note. So it goes. I want you to try that. You feel free to pause the video and try it on your own. The key here is that little pause or breath in between the triplet, at the end of the triplet, I should say, before the next beat. It's like if we were to hum it, it would be dum-ba-bum, ha, sort of like that. All right, let's try it together a couple more times. 1, 2. If you can't play your G, D, E triplets that fast, that's okay. You can pause the video, do the same thing on your own. The point is to try to get 5 of those in a row. I think that was 5. All right, the next bar, we're going to do the exact same thing. The triplet at the beginning of bar 2 is this. It's a G grace note to E, C, low G grace note on C, and then a G grace note up to E. We also call this a strike, a C strike, right? It's a closed strike. All right, so let's do this one. We're going to do this one a bit slower. We're still going to pause at the end of the triplet. Well, what's the triplet in this situation? It's the, right? 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 notes, right? It's an E, a C, and then another C. And the rhythm is, right? 1, 2, 3. Ba, ba, ba. E, C, C. Just like the rhythm in bar 1 was 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, A, A, A. Okay? So the rhythm's the same, different notes. So let's go ahead and take this nice and slowly. You're going to start in the E position, and you're going to have your G grace note finger in the air, and we're going to go. Right now we're just practicing the triplet, just to get you in the groove. Did you hear how I sped that up? It might not be workable for you to follow along with me on that speeding up, but that's what I want you to do on your own, is pause the video and take some time to speed that triplet up so that it can be as quick as your G, D, E triplet on the way. Remember how fast you can play that? See how they're the same? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is a good time to pause the video and look at those first 2 sets of triplets and make them the same duration internally. Bup, 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 bup. Okay? Come back when you've done that. All right. So you've taken some time to try to get this triplet's speed and accuracy the same as this triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you can't play it that fast, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's okay too. We're going to go with the slower one, that 1, 2, 3 for this bar. And then after we do the C strike, we do a G grace note on E, but we need to have that little pause after the triplet. So it's going to sound like something like this, okay? See how I'm pausing? Just a little bit of a breath after that last C before we go up to the E. So try it with me. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, that's the first 2 bars of the line. The whole point of this is to get in the habit of playing the triplet as fast as you can and clearly as you can, with a little breath after it before you go to the next beat. Now, the one in bar 3 is identical to the phrase in bar 1, so we're going to skip that. We're going to go to bar 4. And this one, this first part is the same as bar 2. It's that E, C, strike on C. E, C, strike on C. But the note after it is different. It's a C doubling, okay? So that one's a little more involved, but you've been doing C doublings, no big deal. So the triplet is still, right? The triplet's still that. But then the note after it is a C doubling, and we must have a pause after the triplet. So let's do this. 1, 2. My piano's getting a little bit wet there, huh? You got to notice that pause. Try that again, right? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So in the first line of Cork Hill, we have 3 types of triplets followed by a melody note. Bar 1, bar 2, and bar 4, because bar 3 is the same as bar 1. So what I want you to do next, and yes, this is an exercise, it's not the melody yet, right? It is that we're going to, whoa, sorry about that. We are going to play each one of them. Okay, this is going to take some paying attention. So we're going to do the first one, the second one, and the last one, all in a row, making sure we take that breath, that little space after the triplet. Let's try nice and slowly. Okay, and I'll have a count in there. So when I say 1, 2, that's the first one. We have a pause. 1, 2, that's the next one. Pause. So ready? First phrase. 1, 2. Second phrase. 1, 2. Last phrase in the 4th bar. 1, 2. Okay, did you follow that? Let's try it again. First phrase. 1, 2. Second phrase. 4th phrase. All right, so again, what we just did was the first line of Cork Hill, and we were only doing these phrases with the pauses, the breath of space after the triplets. That is something that you can do on your own. This is mainly an instructional video. What we're going to do next is we're going to look at part 2. Okay, part 2. Here we have part 2, and I did put a sort of dotted line here at the end of this blue box because this is also a triplet, but we're just going to pause on the first note of the triplet. In this case, it's a high A, right? So we have low A, C, E, a slight pause, and then high A. Okay, same idea, same rhythm. So it's just a triplet, 1, 2, 3, and then the next beat. 1, 2, 3, A. So it might sound something like this. Right? Something like that. 1, 2, 3, A. Okay, let me try that again. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now, if you can't play that fast, that's fine. Let's slow it down. Let's make that first triplet be, and then, right? Let's do it like that. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2. We're still having the pause after the triplet. Maybe stop the video, try that phrase on your own, and come back. Okay, we are on the 2nd bar of part 2 of Cork Hill, and we are attempting to get the feel for this phrasing of these triplets. We play the triplet, a little pause, and then we go to the next note after it. This one is high A, E, C, and then we go back up to high A. So this sequence sounds like this. 1, 2. Excuse me. Let me play a high properly. 1, 2. So we're pausing at the end of the triplet. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. If you can't play the triplet that fast, that's fine. Go ahead and pause the video. Do it on your own. The point is, it's 1, 2, 3, and, right? Or for the next beat. 1, 2, 3, A. Okay? Great. Take your time on that. Okay, come back when you're done. We are going to take a look now at bar 3 of part 2 of Cork Hill. And this is exactly the same as bar 1. So remember, we're going for dumpa da, E, right? A little bit of a breath after the triplet, right? 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, again, if that's too fast, try it on your own. Bar 4. This is very similar to bar 2, except it ends in a C doubling. E-da-dum, ba-da. All right, let's try that one. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. The reason we're doing this is to make sure that the tune has the space in rhythm that it needs to have, and that we are also practicing these packets of notes. And when you practice the packets of notes, they kind of come their own little like Lego piece. You play that packet of notes enough and you can just insert it into the tune. So this has gotten us to the end of the first line of part 2 of Cork Hill. And then the second line of Cork Hill, everything's the same as above, except this bar right here, where we have a D throw after a triplet on low A. And so we're going to try that right now. So it's a triplet on the way. You've already done that. Right? And then it's just a D throw after it, but we need the pause. So it's 1, 2, 3, D throw. 1, 2, 3, D throw. I'm doing this breath to give you the sense of this spacing. So it might sound something like this. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. If that's too fast for you, go ahead and stop the video and do it on your own. No problem. It does not have to be as fast as all that. All right, we're going to go right down through the rest of the tune here. We're going to take a look at part 3. Part 3 has G, D, E triplet on low A, followed by an E. Well, check it out. That's exactly the same as what's up here in part 1. So we're not going to do that right now. Here's something new. We have a G grace note to F, D, a strike on D, and then a G grace note up to E. So we're going to try this one here. Right now, let's just go through the mechanics of this one just to make sure it's comfortable. It's a G grace note on F, D, close the chanter to play the low G grace note on D, and then come back up. Or slower. 1, 2. Okay, try that on your own. Maybe you need some time on that D strike. That's okay. Take the time now, pause the video, and do it. We're talking about the rhythm. It's just like a G, D, E triplet. It's 1, 2, 3, and, or the next note. 1, 2, 3, E, right? 1, 2, 3, E. So I'm going to model that rhythm with this bar. We're talking about bar 2 of part 3 of Cork Hill. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now that sounds a little bit odd, I would say, when you're thinking about, well, this is Cork Hill. It doesn't sound like the tune. That's right, because we're just practicing the rhythms right now. That entire bar would be. And so the reason we're doing these rhythms and having the break is so things don't just blend together. It's habara, habara, a little bit of a breath of space in between. That's where we're headed with this. The next bar is exactly the same thing that we've done before, GD triplet on low A up to E, which is the same as bar 1 of part 3 and the bar 1 of part 1. So we're going to skip that, and we're going to go straight to bar 4. Well, look at that. That's actually the same that you've already, that's in the ending bar 4s of some of the other parts, right? So we're not going to redo that, okay? And then we do the repeat, or the second line of part 3. These are all the same as above. And here is that GDE triplet on low A to the D throw. Well, you've already practiced that phrase. So let's keep moving on. We're going to go to part 4. And part 4 has a GDE triplet. First bar, GDE triplet on low A up to high A. So let's try that. Same rhythm. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, and the next note. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Just a little bit of a pause after the triplet. If that's too fast, pause the video, do it on your own. Right? Here we have a bar 2 of part 4, and we have the G grace note on E and then the C strike. And that is actually already done up here, okay? The only difference here is that it's ending on high A. So, hibaro E, right? Let's try that somewhat slowly, just to remind us of what's going on. We're doing a G grace note to E, C, strike on C, take a breath, high A. So it might sound something like this. If that's too fast, no worries. Pause the video, do it on your own. Just remember that this phrase sounds like 1, 2, 3, A. 1, 2, 3, A. Okay, pause the video if you need to. That's fine. Here we have in bar 3 of part 4, it's just like bar 1. Same. And then right here we have a ending a bar 4 that's exactly the same as the other bar 4s. Okay, that's the same. Okay, and then the only unique, and it's actually not unique, but we're just going to do it one more time, is the 7th, it's basically the 7th bar in part 4. It's the 3rd bar of the last line. And this is this G, D, E triplet on low A with a D throw. Okay, we've already done it, but let's just do one more. It's dum pum pum bra, dum pum pum bra, triplet, D throw, little bit of a breath of space. Okay, ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, so that is the rhythmic evaluation of Cork Hill. If you've gone through this video, you have gone through most of the note combinations that we will encounter. In part 2, we're going to do these in-between ones. See these triplets that were kind of left off, where we have a triplet followed by the note in the next bar in a few places. We're going to work on that next. All right, enjoy.